Awesome. What's going on, guys? Bruce here, your host with Down a Rabbit Hole podcast. Today, guys, we're gonna keep the momentum going. Me, your co-host, Anthony Lucas. Last time we were talking about some interesting topics. We did touch on pyramids a little bit, so we decided that this episode we're gonna talk about pyramids. What do you think? Is it a technology, or is it what they say it is, as far as it being some kind of huge tombstone for some pharaohs, some ancient rulers? All right, so we're gonna get into a little bit of this and that, and I definitely want to hear from you guys. I know you guys definitely like to do your own research and stuff. So anything go ahead and comment along the way. Today, my co-host is a little under the weather, so be covering as much as I can. He'll be stepping in, chiming in when he feels fit to. So let's just go ahead and start off. So you know, pyramids, something that honestly I've been kind of oddly obsessed with for like a very long time since I was a little kid. One of my I guess you could say bucket list things is definitely explore all these pyramids, or not all of them because there's so many of them, but all the major ones, right? The ones in Mexico, the ones in Peru, the ones in Mexico that we showed last time in the picture, the ones in Peru, Machu Picchu. I definitely want to go to obviously Great Pyramid of Egypt, and explore these sites. So it's always been something I've been interested in for a very long time, researching different sources, different people, different documentaries, different all types of stuff. I mean, there's even I think a documentary on Netflix called The Pyramid Code. I'm not sure if it's still there, but watched that before. A lot of interesting things you learn about pyramids, as far as like the hieroglyphs that it has inside of them, as far as the pictures, the images, whatever you want to call it.
Codes, bro.
But also
Codes. Codes that they have for the
it's
future, bro.
it's the cheat codes. I don't know if you saw it, man, but they have a you can go ahead and pull it up right now on Google. Um, put type in aircraft hieroglyphs in pyramids, right? Like something like that. It should pop up. Even Billy Carson was at one of these sites, and he actually showed it on his IG live stream. Like literally showed that. So it's real. It's not like a Photoshop image on Google. They have hieroglyphs inside of a pyramid of images like that look exactly like a modern day tank and helicopter and jet. Yeah, see if you could look up helicopter image in pyramid or some shit. See if that pops up. Image inside pyramid. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
there
that
you
thing's
go.
popular. Yeah, so pull it up. Let's see. Not yet. Nah, it gave me an option to watch stream. I gotta click on that.
Yeah, you should be able to. I have it up.
Nah, it's telling me to click watch stream though. Let me see. Maybe if I click on that. Okay, now I see it. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and click on one of those images to enlarge it for the viewers that haven't seen this yet, guys.
Click
It's
on the
pretty
one
crazy
that.
to have. That's the one. There we go. That's the one. Billy Carson was actually in this pyramid on his IG live, showing us that it's real, and he had to get access to that pyramid. Like you know, you gotta,
And where's this
you gotta
pyramid at?
pay a couple of guards. What's
Where's
up?
this?
That one specifically, I think it's in Egypt. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. It might say it though. But you see the
Yeah,
images, like
yeah.
that looks like a modern day jet, a modern day helicopter, a modern day tank, and the rest of the stuff I have no idea what that is. But but
Is
in this article, yeah, yeah, yeah,
temple.
yeah, hmm yeah. Yo, what's crazy is that they also have artifacts that they found, metal artifacts that were made from people way back in the day, and they were literally the shape of airplanes. And these artifacts are like from way back before we even had anything.
And are you talking about pyramids? I never, man. I tell you the
And
truth about the pyramid, and
yeah.
because I know
Mhm.
perfectly, somebody had to get ancient time together. Or like, there's got to be something more specific to big hydro.
Hieroglyphics.
Yeah. So like just to see,
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like you said, that these things are huge. How did they know these measurements, and how is it so precise? I mean, the stone is cut so perfectly that it's like how they do that with the technology they said they had. And number one, we don't even let's just really speak facts. We don't even have the technology today to actually rebuild the pyramid. We don't. It's too. We don't even have powerful enough cranes to pick up those blocks. Yet they're trying to make us believe that thousands of slaves back in the day somehow maneuvered these blocks onto extremely large logs of wood to roll them in the right direction with ropes.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
nah,
way
crazy,
in
crazy.
hell. And if you look how it's built, like the blocks, the way they're stacked on top of each other, it's a unique design that you really can't even do, let's say, with rolling them on wood and it's pulling them with strings, and you can't even get that type of design doing it like that, especially with that type of precision. So it's very obvious to me that it's not done the way they said it's done. There's a lot about our history they're trying to hide from us. It seems like somewhere along the way we were in a very, very much more advanced civilization. Maybe even more, I would say definitely more advanced than what we are today. And it seems like somewhere along the way, something happened and communication was lost and people became stupid and had to, it was like basically like a great reset, I guess you could say. A great reset where people had to find their way back to these levels of technology all over again. Right? We did it pretty fast though. Look at the last couple hundred years. I mean, it's been crazy.
I mean, I wouldn't.
So
I just think there's definitely a big controversy. You know, we're well above their peers, but I just think it's trustworthy. Trust the wrong people. It was Romans building their empire. So
well, the thing is that when Rome was at their height, and yet Egypt was around. Egypt wasn't Egypt. The Egypt at that point in time basically inherited the pyramids. They weren't even the ones that were originally there from the beginning of the construction. So that's that goes back even further, even further, like more thousands of years. So we're talking about like before, Caesar, before Rome, before the all that, before all that stuff, right? Where they were living a very highly advanced life. I mean, there's even like you said, like you see, you can see that there's even hieroglyphs of tanks and helicopters and planes. And then look, we had no helicopters, tanks, or planes for a very long time until maybe what, a couple decades ago.
yeah,
So it's like almost like a restart in a way. Seems like it because I do know for sure there's Russians right now experimenting with pyramid technology. You can look that up too. Russians actually are building pyramids and experimenting with pyramid technology. Not to mention, there's a big old giant pyramid in Vegas.
Yeah. Uh, so I fix. I'm a little limited. Hopefully that's better. All right. Yeah, I think I fixed that issue. So, but yeah, you said there's a pyramid like a you talking about like the hotel or you actually
No, yeah, yeah, that's just a hotel. But yeah, um, the Russians are experimenting with pyramids. They have been for quite some time, and there's a lot of other countries that are experimenting with pyramid technology. They're finding out that the pyramid structure itself, geometrically, the geometry behind it is actually powerful.
mm,
And it actually is a multi-use type of technology. So now, they try to tell us it's like a tombstone, it's just big ass giant thing built just for a ruler to be put inside of. That is very far from the truth. When you think about it, like pull up that picture real quick again for those who maybe weren't on last time of the Mexican pyramids that are shaped like a computer motherboard. And then what I want you to do for me real quick as well is look up what exactly a motherboard does.
let me go ahead and get it open here now. You can see my
For
screen, right?
those who don't know.
You
What's
can see
up?
my screen, right?
Yeah,
Okay. And you said the picture of the pyramids with the motherboard.
there you go. Yep, right there. And then just look up the definition of or what the use or what does the motherboard do in a computer, like just to see what is the function of it. There's so many pieces to the computer, but what does the motherboard do? It's going to give you an idea, more or less, of why this big motherboard was on our planet.
So I got you right.
Uh, can you read that? I can't see it.
Yep.
It's too small for me.
Right. All right. So what it says here, the motherboard is the backbone that ties the computer's components together at one spot and allows them to talk to each other. That's the definition we
Mm,
got for the mother.
boom. So these because there's pyramids in China, there's pyramids all over the globe, there's pyramids on islands. I mean, everywhere. There's even a pyramid in America they found really, really late. So makes you think, right? You got all these pyramids all over the globe, right? And you got this motherboard. We know what the motherboard does now. So maybe the motherboard was was what was responsible for all these pyramids being able to communicate with each other.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's got to be. There's got to be a little bit more information, like what's in these pyramids than some dead body. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just no way I
The
can
thing is,
see.
like,
Huh?
have you ever opened up chips?
What do you mean chips? Like a bag of chips?
Nah.
Like, what do you mean?
No, like the chips in the computer. Have you ever just opened them up like bored as hell when you were a kid and
Oh,
shit like that?
nah. I did. I went to ITT Tech, so we had to like build computers and stuff like that. So yeah, I did that before.
Yeah, so you like I did that as a kid, like without really like knowing anything that I was actually doing, or maybe I did know subconsciously, I have no idea. But I used to mess around with chips. Like anytime electronics were broken in my house, gaming systems, controllers, or whatever, I would like to open things up and find a way to fix it. And I remember if you like, I want one time, inside of a chip, if you look at a chip, you're gonna find all these little pieces, right? That are like cylinders, squares, whatever, right? And then you have all these little lines that are in between these things, right?
Yep.
And it looks just like if you look at a row of pyramids or whatever from up above in a helicopter view, it looks just like that because you see all the little lines, in between the pyramids and all the structures. So one day I took a chip and I took out the little cylinder piece, the little square piece, and I just decided to break it up. I wanted to break it. I wanted to see what it's made out of. So I broke it up and I realized that the more you break it, the more you realize it's not really made of anything. It's made out of just a special material, right? So the pyramid itself, we can go inside of it and it might just seem like some kind of building because we're just small. We're like an ant, inside this pyramid. So to us, it just looks like some kind of building. But in reality, with all these little tunnels that humans can't even fit through, it seems more like a technology. Because if you look inside of these chips, inside of these pieces in the chips, it's really like it would seem like nothing if I was an ant inside of a chip, right? If I was inside of a chip, I would just look. I'm in a big room. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
with
for
a
sure.
couple of doors and a couple of hallways. That's you know. So it's hard for us to see the pyramid as a technology, especially computeristic technology, because it's just so damn massive. It's just so massive. It's hard for us to comprehend that. But when you start looking at these things and you're like, wow, the pyramids that we got this motherboard looking thing here. We got okay, so these pyramids right here in Egypt are aligned with Orion's belt on the Orion constellation, right? And the Orion's constellation is like the most popular common constellation you can typically like most people know and recognize. The belt it's his belt. It's just plain. It's easy to understand. Those three stars in his belt actually align perfectly with the three pyramids from Egypt. So it's like, why does that matter? What is that doing? It's almost like, what is the purpose of having a motherboard, right? To have everything communicate with each other. What's the purpose of having a computer that's actually working like my phone? It's so that it can connect to the rest of the network, so that I can communicate with the rest of the network. That's really what it's there
Yeah,
for, right? For,
absolutely.
as far as for us to communicate with each other, it's a communication device, right? That's run on a network, right? So what if the pyramids is just a giant technology of communication on a more universal galactic scale, not small like from my city to your city on a phone, but bigger scale, more communication, just like you had to build a bigger satellite.
Talking about like
Well,
some
maybe,
Men in Black shit, like with the
yeah.
Statue of Liberty. Like when they had the Statue of Liberty, it was like that
Oh,
that beacon. You know what I mean? I know what you're
oh
talking
shit!
about.
No, I didn't. I don't remember that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I saw all the movies too. I forgot.
yeah,
I don't remember that one.
yeah. That's
That was like the part three or some shit.
yeah, yeah. Like part three, they had that the necklace. They had the little chain on there, and then so what happened
Yeah,
is
part one and two my favorite. I think that's why part one and two were my favorite. So I don't remember too much of part three.
yeah, yeah. Nah, like part three was a little cheesy, but it was still I still liked it though. But yeah, so pretty much what happens is like they got like this beacon, and then like they use that to talk to another universe. It was like this little had to like go to the Statue of Liberty. Or something. But yeah, I mean they said
Yo, that might be real,
no,
bro.
yo,
That statue's pretty big.
Will Smith did say he talked to the president and then asked him about aliens straight up. And he said
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that goes on in Men in Black that he can't really talk about or explain, like how they actually got that.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, a lot of movies tell the truth a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
times.
for sure.
A lot of times, and of course, Men in Black is real because I saw documentaries. This is another episode, but yeah, I saw documentaries about Men in Black, really showing up to people's houses. Like, I don't know if it's real. Obviously, those are all just personal stories that they're telling. We don't know if they're lying, obviously, so I'm not going to say it's valid 100%. But yeah, there's documentaries of people talking about alien encounters and stuff like that. And then after the alien encounter or whatever weird encounter they have, they do get approached by some people looking like the Men in Black.
Yeah, I
So
did see that. Yeah, I
it,
did see that. And
it
time
might be
travelers too. They
real. We
said,
don't know.
yeah,
We don't know. It might be real, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, like the Statue of Liberty, is a communication device. So it's like it's just common sense to me. It's not to me. It's not even conspiracy. It's not even anything else but common sense to me. Like I just know it's common sense technology. Okay, so this looks like a motherboard. It's made out of things that can be used realistically for technology purposes. Okay, cool. We have all these other pyramids and structures around the world. Okay, cool. But you know what it also looks like? It also looks like a long time ago, there was a big ass battle and somebody came down here and literally blew up all the pyramids. Because why do they look old for sure, but they all look damaged too. Like some of these pyramid structures, I don't know if you ever seen, like I studied a lot of them, like pretty much all of them, I think. Some of them literally look like somebody dropped a bomb on them because it's crazy because it literally like the stones are in half. scattered, and I'm like, what would do that? Like, what would break that big of a stone and so many of them and fling them all over the place? You
Pollution,
know what I'm
man.
saying? Like,
Pollution, weather, all that stuff comes in
nah, it's
factors,
too
bro.
big. Too,
Like
it's too big,
I'm
man.
telling you,
It's
man, you
too
don't
big.
understand what we're doing to our world, bro. Like we're literally
Yeah, but that's too
killing our
big.
world.
That's too big, man. No, I get that, but that's too big. Those stones are too big. I'm telling you, you gotta look at the pictures. Some of these stones are so big as they weigh more than like, I mean, there's like than our heaviest buildings that we have,
Yeah,
and it's just a solid block. But yeah, if you look at these ancient sites, they do look fucked up.
yeah.
You know, they look a little fucked up. They don't just look old. Some of them look old and in good condition, you know, but they're old. And some of them look like they got fucked up. Like somebody just ran through that shit and just started destroying some shit. You know what's crazy too is that one of the sites actually was tested scientifically with scientific devices and actually had a high level of radiation in that whole entire area of that pyramid structure, as if like similar. It actually read to the same measurement as testing sites that we use for nuclear bombs in today.
Nah, yeah,
That's
I believe it,
crazy.
bro. Like I said,
That's
a
crazy.
lot of this stuff is such a mystery. I don't understand uh, uh why some of these things aren't open to public, even if people know like it's unsafe or dangerous. I still should be able to see what's inside of it. You know what I mean? Or you should like have like a documentary or like a camera of what's inside these. Like, who owns these pyramids and say you guys can't come in here. Like that's it. You guys can
That's what
walk
I'm saying.
around,
Yeah,
but you can't come
that's
in here.
crazy.
That
Yeah,
shouldn't be a thing, because it's just like it almost seems like you're hiding something. Like what are you hiding? I get it. You're trying to preserve the area, and you don't want people to sit there and touch it or do any do any of those other dumb stuff that people do. I
yeah.
get it, like trash or litter, but again, like don't we know what's inside every single pyramid?
That's what I'm saying. Why not? Because like you're right. Like it's obvious. You're acting like you got something to hide. You're literally hiring armed soldiers to block the opening of what you're calling a worthless stone tomb.
Yeah, nah, people don't do that.
You're saying it's worthless, but you got the government blocking you from going in deep. You can go into the exterior. You know, I don't know if you saw the video of that guy that ran up the pyramid and they were running after him to catch him. You're not supposed to do that. He got fined and probably got jail time. I don't know, but he ran and climbed because you can climb the pyramid. It's like steps, right? So he just went straight up on that bitch, and I think there's a video out on that one. You might want to look that up.
Yeah,
They were chasing his ass
yeah. Nah, I'm
up
gonna
the pyramid.
look
You
at
know what I'm
that.
saying,
Yeah, yeah. Nah, I never seen that one. What did
bro?
it?
Because you can't do that. You can't even get on. You can't really go on top of it like that.
Yeah,
And
nah.
he just said, but but yeah, why so much protection? And on top of that, Billy Carson said it that you can pay and they'll let you in a little bit further. Like if you talk to the
Hmm.
guard and slip them a little cash, they'll let you in a little bit further through the front door maybe. But there's areas that they haven't even explored yet. And in fact, I was just listening to Billy Carson today. He said that there we have radar, right? I know we have
Yeah,
radar,
yeah.
military radar that we can detect what's actually under the ground now. Like whatever's under, we can
Sonar
detect.
and
If there's a
shit.
big space,
Yeah.
a big object underground, we could just like we have scanners and radars for the ocean, we have radars for regular ground, we have radars for all this stuff. So supposedly, when they did what Billy Carson said was when they had they looked what's under the whole Sphinx. There's actually a big room under there, and you know what's crazy is that this guy right here, Thoth Thoth the Atlantean, the guy who supposedly is like known to bring light and knowledge to mankind since like way back, whatever. Um, he said that he left a spaceship underneath the Sphinx. And you know what's crazy is that radar has picked up a big object underneath the Sphinx, but nobody's allowed to do anything there, dig or nothing.
Yeah.
So that'd be crazy as hell.
Yeah. Well, I
That
mean,
this guy said it, and recently scientists, because Billy Carson's a big researcher, he'll actually show you the websites. Like he's the type of guy, he's not going to tell you anything without giving you the source. And it's usually government websites, real scientific data. Everything's real facts based on whatever he talks about. And if it's not, he'll let you know. But for that, it was real. Like that was a real radar scan underneath the Sphinx. There's a big room and a big object there. They don't know what it is, supposedly. They don't know what it is, supposedly. But what Dolph says down there, he said there's a spaceship down there and a fucking like I think a library or some shit of knowledge or some shit. So that's what he said.
Yeah, I believe it,
Who
man.
knows, right?
I think there is definitely like some type of guidance or something like that that we've gotten. Or like maybe it is like, you know how it was like in Men in Black, like they're fucking talking to the president. You know what I'm saying? Like aliens are talking to our president or our leaders and stuff like that. And then having like those one on one conversations. That's a lot of that stuff can be possible, man. I know a lot of people.
Bro, that's supposedly why they killed JFK.
Yeah, so
Supposedly.
I know a big thing. So this is my thing with JFK. Like, get off topic. So I know because I've looked into that a lot, man. Like JFK, like I really went down a rabbit hole on that one. So the biggest thing about JFK is he was not on board with centralized banking. So I mean, you know what centralized
Yep.
banking is, right? So the world
Mm-hmm.
having its own bank, and he was a big person that was against it and said, America doesn't need that. You will destroy America if you do. And that's pretty much as you see now. Look at America under centralized banking. Like, look how many people are struggling, and only the few people that are winning. That's rich people. That's the foreign exchange. Look at the foreign exchange market, the stock market, all those things, cryptocurrencies, all those things. Well, not cryptocurrencies. For like gold, silver, all those things are under centralized banking. You know what I'm saying, loans and things like that, interest rates. So that's what's kind of like putting us in debt and also putting everybody else in debt. Like, you think about it, how many people are really in positive net worth? Like, if you honestly think about it, how many people are positive? Not many. A lot of us are in more debt than what we're worth. That's just gonna eventually catch up to. But yeah, I know for the biggest reason, or the biggest reason why JFK
Oh
fucking
yeah. Yeah, that for
centralized
sure
bank.
because that's more of a threat.
Yeah,
And that's more of what he was kind of already hinting about in his speech when he said, we should never be about secret
yeah,
societies
and that too.
or secret oaths
Yeah,
because that's what it was.
yeah.
They're all connected. It's all
New
connected to the
World
whole
Order,
thing. It's
bro.
connected
New World Order. Like,
yeah. So
that is
mhm.
that's the that's the next subject we
Yeah,
should talk about.
that's another
That's a
that's
whole nother
another
episode, bro. That's a
yeah.
whole nother
You know
episode.
what's crazy is that I feel like things always get flipped on the bad guys, and I always think about this phrase, the New World Order, and that's crazy because it gets flipped no matter how you look at it because there was always going to be a New World Order, always.
Yeah.
It was always going to be. It's inevitable. It's actually normal. It's a part of evolution. When you evolve as a species, like mankind evolves, goes up a notch, these things change. It's normal. So New World Order is normal.
Yeah, for sure.
What they tried to do is make a good amount of people out there automatically think of the New World Order as them, and that's false.
Hmm.
The New World Order was already inevitable with or without them,
Hmm.
and period. Right? It's already happening. So it has nothing to do with them. But it's crazy how slick they are.
Yeah.
They're slick
Rockefellers, bro.
at attaching. They're very
Yeah.
smart. They're very smart. They know the power of marketing and human psychology.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, they it goes way back in time, and like they started this. Like, what I'm saying? Like, they everything that we're doing now, they talked about this back in 1900, like 1912. Like, they were talking about
Yeah.
what we're going to be doing now, and they controlled it ever since. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about that, like, since 1912, what? It's probably one of our great grandparents. That's it. Like, my great grandmother just passed away, well, years ago, 3 years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was alive
Mhm.
during the whole, roaring 20s, and when this like so-called New World Order kind of started. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
they've been talking about the great, like you said, like the Great Reset, man. Like, that's what COVID was. It was a great reset for us. And then, 50 years down the line, we're going to be talking about this, like, probably, hopefully, our kids or our kids are getting ready to talk about this on their podcast. Like, man,
I don't think
my
so.
dad and his friend were talking about fucking New World Order and stuff like that. You don't think so, man? Uh,
No, I don't think the future generations are gonna talk about like COVID or anything
oh
like that.
yeah, for
Like,
sure,
think,
bro.
think
Yeah.
about this, man. I know. Look, I know media is definitely on another level right now compared to the 20s and 30s, obviously, but they still had a way of getting around with news and all that. But think about how serious the Spanish influenza actually was, as far as real like deaths compared to COVID, right? And yet no one's talking about that even 20, 30 years later because the market started booming like it always does right
Yeah,
after.
but I mean,
So
we talking about the Spanish.
once the world goes, look, once the market starts shooting back up and everybody's out there shopping, ain't nobody gonna be caring. It's gonna be a blimp in time. Like, oh yeah, just like the
Nah,
swine flu.
no
Like, come
way,
on.
bro. No way. Nah, no way. This is going to be talked about. Like this is going to be on the same level as a plague, bro. Like a black plague. This is our black. You think about it, bro. This is our black plague, bro, for sure, bro. 100%.
nah,
Yo, if
nah.
think about this, if the black plague, if the black plague
The
happened
only way
now,
that would be real, is if all these weird conspiracy theories out there are true that say that the whole vaccines is set up and
it
it's gonna
is.
kill a
That
big
is
percentage
gonna.
of people and all this stuff, and they got Bill Gates talking about this and that and all. Well,
That
that's
is going to come out.
another.
All that's for
So
sure going to come out.
if that's true as far as those conspiracy theories, as far as with the whole vaccine and that many people actually take it, maybe I don't know. As far as could it get worse, but as of right now, right now, I think if it doesn't get any worse than where it is now or where it was with the lockdown, then it's going to easily be forgotten
Nah,
because
no
I think
way.
the lockdown was kind of forgotten pretty
No
fast.
way, bro. The lockdown, people are still feeling the effects of the lockdown.
I don't know. Maybe it's just different in Florida. I don't know. I feel like everybody just.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely different in Florida. Nah, people gonna talk about this forever, bro. Like this is
I
gonna
don't
be
know
this
about
is gonna
that.
be like I said, this is gonna be in history books. This is gonna be, like
Yeah,
this
but
is
are they
gonna
going
be
to
a
talk about
lesson
this
in
more,
history.
or the? Are they going to talk about this more, or the crypto boom more? I think they're going to talk about the crypto
Nah,
boom
for
more,
sure crypto
technology
boom.
boom more,
Crypto boom.
AI more boom. You know what I'm saying? They're going to talk about AI, money, gaming,
Nah,
crypto,
the AI
the new
boom,
highs the market
we
makes.
got another 20 years for the AI boom though. For
Yeah,
it to
yeah,
be
but
talked
still,
about like
they're going to be
how
talking.
COVID is. We got another 20
That's what I'm
years.
saying. Like in a decade or two, ain't nobody going to be talking about this shit, man.
Nah, for sure, bro. Because like I'm telling you, think about all the people that are making plays right now during COVID, man. There's so many things that's getting done in front of our faces. Laws being passed, like yo, bro. So much money being
That's been
made,
happening before COVID,
huh?
man.
Nah, but I'm telling
I
you, like
said that.
COVID. I'm
Yeah,
telling
that's
you,
been
bro.
happening
COVID
before
is
COVID.
like
The whole law.
COVID is up there, bro. Like they're like I'm telling you, there's
Yeah,
gonna be
I
it's
don't
gonna
know.
be a whole chapter, bro. A whole chapter in the
Yeah,
history.
I mean, look, I think for sure, I think it's gonna be something that people remember. Just like I still remember the swine flu, but I just feel like it ain't gonna be as like I don't know. I think after a couple decades, ain't nobody gonna be talking about it. But yeah,
Hold on, let's go
I
to the
mean,
comments before we keep going. Sorry to cut you off. We
yeah,
got a couple of people
no, I
talking.
talk. We kind of went off topic anyway.
So, we got Pam. She says, "I believe they have found his tomb. Nobody's able to get in. There's because it's dense of air, can't breathe. Once you get to a certain level, they found the tomb birds. I think she's talking about the stuff like that.
Hmm.
They do believe it's tomb. Though, yep. Spaceships is supposed to be in there below. She was agreeing with you about the spaceship. Seen that also heard that as well. The story says that he parked it in there when he came to Earth. Then she was talking about JFK saying he was assassinated by M12. That is a theory. That is a theory, but I don't think M12 assassinated. I think it was America. And we got Carolina. They'll be talking about some new nonsense that's going on. Shit dies with generations. I don't think things die with generations. Like things like this don't die with generations. I don't think this something like this
I
doesn't
don't
die
know.
with generations. Because like I said, you would think about it, a black plague or like you said, Spanish influenza, like all those things would have died with their generation, didn't? Like that made
Yeah,
a lasting it's a pandemic. So that's going to be talked about more than our generation. Sure, definitely for sure. So,
I mean, like I said, to me, it just depends how long this lasts. If it kind of goes away sooner rather than later, I think it could fade away faster. But if they try to prolong it, make it worse, yeah, it could definitely sting in people's minds for longer, and be passed on to the next kids or whatever. But yeah, so I think what was Pam saying about the pyramids?
um,
The tomb. Okay,
yeah,
she
she was
said
talking
she
about the
found a
tomb.
tomb. Okay, so yeah, I think there's only one pyramid, if I'm not mistaken, that they actually found a tomb. But yeah, I still don't believe it's actually just for a tomb. But yeah, I think there was one they reportedly found a tomb, or that could easily be a setup, to try to go with their history lesson and regular history lesson, which is pyramids are for tombs or
Hmm.
whatever. So that could have been a setup because out of all the hundreds of pyramids in the globe, they only found one, I think, tomb or something like that. So I don't know. I really don't know if I buy that. But for me, pyramids I think they had a multi-use. Why did they have it aligned specifically, like, let's say with in this example with the great the Egypt pyramids, they were aligned with Orion's belt. So it makes me think, like, why was it aligned with that belt? What was the point of that? Was it because by aligning it, like, just how, like, back in the day, like when you were getting bad signal on your TV, because we go way back, right, with the
Yeah,
TVs where you got to move the antenna, right,
yeah,
like,
yo, you had
you
the
got to move.
switch, yo, you had to hit the switch, yeah,
Yeah,
had the
that too, but
knobs,
you actually had to move the physical
yeah,
antenna with the things out, right, just move it, and anywhere you moved it for some reason you got the signal,
yeah, yeah,
right.
for sure,
Even if you changed it by a little bit, what happened? You can lose a signal,
yeah, for sure.
right? So why are these things? They're computeristic technology. Obviously, we got the motherboard type design there and everything. But why are the pyramids of Egypt aligned? So if it is technology, why is it aligned with the belt of Orion? Is it because it's actually at that moment having a clear cut connection with whatever's over there? Is that why? I mean, that's what I think. That's what I think. That's just the first thing that came to my mind when they mentioned that. I said, why else? I mean, if it is a type of technology, um, and we have the motherboard, which is designed to get all these things working together, and then we start putting the whole picture together. We build a computer, and we realize a computer has the ability to communicate with others in a network of computers, right? So, where's the other computers?
Mhm.
Where's the other computers that we're communicating with? Supposedly, if we are, right?
Different
Where?
universes,
Where else?
bro. It's got to be. I mean, so like, we got to be fools to think that we're here by ourselves. Like, it's already government has already said that. Hey, look, the UFOs do exist. So we already know. Everybody should already know that we're not the only ones in the planet or in this. There's extraterrestrials out. So we gotta be fools not to think that they're not. There's not some type of satellite devices on this planet for them to talk to. Some type of high technology and some type of advanced, warfare that's on this planet that we don't know. It's just completely hidden. There's no way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
unless it's like hidden somewhere deeps in the ocean or something like that, because they say like 95% or 90% of the ocean has been undiscoverable. But anywhere on land, bro, we've seen it. You know what I'm saying? So we
Yeah.
inspected. We sonared it, scientists it out. You know what I'm saying? So like, to think that there's not some type of device here on planet Earth is, you got to be crazy. And then
Bro, pull up the H blocks. Keep going.
yeah, 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 no, no, no. So you want me to pull up?
Yeah, because as soon as you said that, it triggered it, right? Because there's like, I'm like, there. Look, this is more obvious that it's technology type. I was just looking at this last night, even though I first saw it like freaking over a decade ago.
All right, what is
Um,
it again?
called H blocks.
H.
Yeah, the letter H
Okay.
blocks. There's these blocks that are cut out, that are in these ancient sites. One of these ancient sites has these H blocks. Just look how precise these stones are cut, and they're so big, so precise. There's no way anyone
Right
back then
here in
was able to do it.
South America.
Hold on, let me see if you got the right ones. I can't really see. You type in H box. It's the picture up top to the right, middle pictures. The
This
middle, the
one?
two middle ones I think are H blocks. Yeah, I think those are H blocks. Yeah, pull up a bigger image.
This right here?
Yeah, the H blocks. Yep, yep. That's
All
them.
right.
Yep. You could get that other picture too if that one's too small. Yeah, you can go back, go to the picture in the middle row down three.
Let's zoom in more. That a little bit better?
Yeah, the one right there, below the one to the left. Yeah, that one. Those are H blocks. So if you could pull that up, so these blocks are on ancient sites, and they can't even explain them because they're like the ones up top.
Yeah, I'm trying
Yeah,
to
there
see
we
if
go.
there's like a
That's
better.
yeah. So they can't even explain these blocks because they look like a perfectly shaped like H type of formation, and they're just sitting in this random ancient site. A whole bunch of them all scattered all over the place. They look like they belong to a puzzle of some sort. But the whole point is that those right angles that are cut to make those H's, there's no way in hell they were able to do that
I
back
could.
then with the technology they had.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the detail on it, man. I could see like the lines, like the indentations and stuff like that. Like,
Like, how are they able to do that? And it looks like they fit inside of something, right?
yeah,
Like a Tetris or something. Like we're playing Tetris, you put these shapes together.
it says it right here on. Get a better picture of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that guy. I watched a lot of these types of shows.
Talking about
He's
this
on
right here,
ancient
right?
aliens. Yeah, see these big old structures. I mean, it's just they don't look too big until you're next to them. Then you realize,
Now you can tell they're big because look where he's standing.
yeah, a a good picture. There we go. Some of them are broken, like they just broke in half and stuff. But yeah, he's showing how good the angle is. You
Yeah,
see
look at
that?
that shit. Yup, yeah. Hey, angle. Yeah, just to like even still, like for them to even get all those angles on there, like you know what I'm saying, like uh,
You can't do that with a chisel.
nah, nah, man. No, it's just there's a lot of there's a lot of explanations that's got to be done. You know what I'm saying? A lot of explanations.
For sure. So Billy Carson, guys, has a lot of information on this stuff. I mean, this guy is he's like, for me, he's like I guess an idol, I guess you could say. Somebody I look forward to walking somewhat in his footsteps. He's like in his 60s right now, I think, but he looks like he's in his fucking 40s, bro. He looks mad young, but he's a heavy researcher. I mean, he gives you information, gives you the facts, the resources, and he's just studies ancient cultures and ancient. I mean, he knows everything about like religions that people don't even know. Like, I mean, there's so much stuff that we could talk about, but and definitely we could talk about religions. I don't, I think that might be something I'll talk about more episodes down the line. I don't want to offend anyone
Yeah,
because it's a very sensitive topic, and I do understand it because I understand how we could be attached to our beliefs and when somebody says something against our beliefs, it could be a little bit of a somewhat feel like an attack, but
yeah.
I think
I mean, I think we
that's
could
why I
talk about it though,
personally.
like and not like hurt feelings. I mean, just more
Oh
of
yeah,
our own perspectives. Like,
oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I'll be as gentle as I can be. But
I won't.
yeah, I mean, but I mean, look, at the end of the day, personally, I guess that's why I don't like to claim a religion or anything like that. Because I feel like it can create separation, having all these titles and you have this beliefs for this God, and I have these and this God, and I don't know.
It's human
I
nature.
rather.
Is animal instinct to have a hierarchy or social group. So that's just kind
Yeah,
of like where
it's
that comes
very
from.
much like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's very much what it is. So I get it. I do understand it, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, so pyramids, man. We're gonna wrap this. I guess we're pretty much. It's more information. There's a lot of things that slipped my mind
Mhm.
while we were elaborating. But I know we're gonna do more episodes on pyramids, guys. I think for me personally, I know for sure it's a technology. I know for sure that it's a multi-use technology, just like we have a lot of technologies today that have multiple functions and multiple uses for it. I think that's what the pyramid was for. So I think a lot of these different books you read out there and videos you see of people telling you it was for this or it was for that. I think you can kind of combine all of them and kind of get a bigger picture of what it really was. It was a technology for multiple uses. And I think at one point, these pyramids had Earth actually connected in a network. And whether you believe in extraterrestrials or not, whether you believe we're alone or whatever, whether you think this type of stuff is funny or goofy, realistically, we are still discovering more life on this planet when we go deeper in the ocean. We're still finding new life of plants and animals when we go deeper into the jungle in the Amazon. So why the hell would you not think there is more life out there as well, in the vastness of space? So and other species that are intelligent like us. So I think at one point we were connected to a network, and we were a way more advanced civilization, not just in technology, but in spirituality to be able to handle the technology. I think that's the most important part. And I think we lost our way and we're getting back to it gradually. And it starts with the spirituality, to be able to accept this technology in the right way and use it for the right purposes. Because we can go very far as a species if we do. I mean, look what Elon's doing, just one guy.
Yeah.
Just one guy. Look what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? So imagine if everybody on this planet was on Elon's level. But where would we be right now? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's what we're capable of. At least we know that's what we're capable of. So I think we're going to get back to that. One day these pyramids will be fully activated again. They'll be used again. They'll be talked about again. They'll be known again. And we'll be able to be connected back to this big network that these pyramids used to connect us to. That's just my firm belief on what this is. After doing all my research, it is technology. Look at the motherboard. What does a motherboard do? We just showed you the definition of
Mhm.
what a motherboard does in regular technology you're using today. We know that that was a basically shaped of a giant motherboard right there, right? I mean, we it's like a big computer almost. And what do computers do? Communicate with other computers, right? And they're able to do things like that. So why wouldn't it be a communication device of some sort? So that's what I think. I think we were a very much advanced, more advanced civilization. We're getting back to these levels, and that's that's just what I think, man.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
You got
man.
any final words?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think I can see that pyramids having some type of connection or something. Obviously, not all of them are going to be like used for technology and stuff like that. I think there is something deeper in pyramids that we don't talk about and we kind of just leave out there for the world. I think there is something that needs to be talked about or investigated in more, or it should just be open to the public so it can stop people like me and you talking about it. But definitely as a whole, like we can no longer say we're the only ones in this world. Governments put it out, we're not the only ones in this world. But I can definitely see the pyramids being some type of source energy, some type of source of for extra species out there to come as a beacon or something like that. Definitely think it's more than just dead by the structure people. So it's definitely a lot going on with those, and definitely a lot of open ended questions. That's all I really got. I just want to again, thank you to the viewers that we have, and then also to the people that are watching. Because that's why this is what we have. So keep telling your friends. We got a lot in store here. I was a little sick this week, and sick now. Wasn't like up to par on the marketing, but we're gonna get a lot of this stuff out there. Also, we got some giveaways coming up too that me and Bruce were talking about. So everybody, make sure you stay tuned. What are we gonna do next week, or what are we gonna do on Thursday?
You know what? I think we should elaborate on the you know, alien conspiracies. I
Aliens?
guess
I'm down,
aliens,
bro.
right?
I'm down with that.
Life outside this planet, right?
Universe, yeah. What's
Yeah,
out
we'll just
there?
talk. We'll talk a little bit about that. I mean, that'd be
Are we
perfect.
the only ones?
But yeah, we're yeah. The only way we're the only ones is if this is really a simulation that we created, and that's why we're the only
Hey, look.
ones.
There's no way. There's no way somebody's gonna create a simulation and not put aliens in it, bro. There's no way. So not
You
even
never know.
in a made up world.
That's true.
but then
That's
but
true. It
then the people
depends.
that created us would be the aliens. So they're still
We have to
aliens.
be nice
Yeah.
aliens, you know. But yeah, that's it. I guess we could do that for next episode. Guys, that's it for today's episode, Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm your host, Bruce Neal. It's your co-host, Anthony Lucas. Guys, until the next episode, right? Keep going on that rabbit hole and do your own research and check out Billy Carson and all these other great guys out there, guys. Peace.
Thank you.